Hello everybody, welcome back to the shop. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how I made this beautiful hard maple workbench. So let's get the camera and show you some of the features before we get into the build. Let's start with the bench top. The bench top is 6 feet long, it's 32 inches across, and it's a full 4 inches thick all the way through. One thing we incorporated in the center is the tool well. Rather than put the tool well on the outside and take up the whole bench, we put it in the center, so when we're working doing joinery, we can take this off. We can do our work, keep our tools in the center, and then when we're not working and we're doing assembly, we put this back and we got the full surface to assemble on. The base is a very easy to build trestle. Very strong, again, all hard maple, and we incorporated big bolts and barrel nuts to keep it all together. So there's no crazy joinery, very simple to make, very strong. The first vise on the bench on the side here is the inclined 14-inch twin turbo vise. What's nice about these vices, they have a transmission. So you have 2 speeds. Very nice product. On the end of the vise, we have the inclined 24-inch twin turbo. Again, got a built-in transmission. Two different speeds. What's nice about this vise is you have 24 inches between the screws for 24-inch workpiece, and the 14-inch gives you a 14-inch in between the screws, which you don't get in many other vices. And I'm going to show you my other bench to show you that. I'll leave a link down below where you can find these vices if you want to pick them up. This is my other workbench. I did not build this when I purchased it. And show you the difference in size. It's still 6 feet long like the new bench, but your total width is 24 inches, and you only have about 18 inches of workspace because of the tool well. And even though it looks like it's a full 4 inches thick, it's not. The outside facade is 4 inches, and the actual bench itself is only 2 inches. So it's not as heavy, whereas the other one's probably coming in like around 300 pounds or more. This one probably comes in about just under 200. So this one moves a little bit, the other one does. This bench has 2 vices too on the side here, but this one does not give you any workspace between the screws. There's only 1 screw and 2 bars. So you have to actually work on top of that or clamp to the side. And it has an end vise, which the other new bench doesn't have, which is great for doing like hand planing and stuff like that. So this is a good joinery bench. And the other one's gonna be good for joinery, but it's gonna be good for doing assembly too. So with that being said, let's get into seeing how it was done. And every project starts with taking the rough lumber and turning it into good usable lumber. So we're going to do this real quick and show you what we ended up with. So after a few hours of work, this is what we turned the rough lumber into. So this is what $1,000 worth of hard maple looks like once it's finished. So now we're taking our wood and we're gluing up the first of the 4 pieces for the bench top. So we did this in 4 sections to make it a lot easier to glue everything up and keep a nice flat surface. Now we did use dowels to help keep the alignment of these top pieces. Without that, it could have moved around a lot on us, but it kept pretty flat the way we did it. So after a gazillion clamps, this is what we look like. So we did this in 4 sections. As you can see, I used all my clamps on this one. We'll come back and do the second, the third, and the fourth. So here we are doing an assembly on the base for the trestle. We use dowels with some glue to help bring it together, and then we're going to come back. We're going to drill some holes, and then we're going to lag bolt it all together, so it's going to be a nice, solid construction. So first we're going to use a Forstner bit to go down to the wooded bit to hide the head of the bolt and the washer. Then we'll come back with the drill bit and we will drill down as far as we can with that bit. And then we'll come back and we will drive our lag bolts in using a ratchet. This would probably be a good opportunity to use a battery operated ratchet rather than doing this by hand. This took a little bit of time. Here we go. This is one side done, and then we're going to do the next, and then we will set up to drill for the barrel nuts. So this is the jig I got from Rockler, which allows you to precisely drill exactly where the bolts go and the barrel nuts to put this trestle base together. A very, very solid construction. Now we remounted the jig to drill the cross holes. These are where the bolts are actually going to slide through to go into the cross members. Believe it or not, this is a brand new drill bit, so I don't know if it's just wasn't sharpened very well at the factory or if this hard maple is that hard. And last but not least, now we're drilling through the side of the cross members. This is where the barrel bushings are going to go through. And this is an actual Forstner bit, which I had to buy special for this jig. A regular bit would not be long enough. Doing this process here would be easy with two people, but I'm by myself, so one piece at a time. We'll start the bolt, we'll move on, and we'll install another bolt, and so on and so forth until we have it all put together, as you can see on the bench here. If you notice, I did clamp the base to the bench so it wouldn't fall off the bench while I was trying to assemble it. And you can really crank down on these things. If I had a longer ratchet, probably would take a little less effort, but once it's all bolted together, it is solid as a rock. Okay, so a quick look at the base assembled. So we're going to get this off the bench here and get it on the floor, and then we're going to put our top and actually glue the top up, the 4 sections on the actual base. We're going to do this because of the weight. You can see here we have the entire top, 4 sections together, and glue is drying. So we're going to come back, we'll square off the ends of this thing. We're going to put an end cap on one side, which you see here. I am using a hand plane to bring that down to the surface of the top. And the other side is going to have a piece of cork installed, which is going to be used in conjunction with the vise. So we'll have cork on the bench and a piece of cork on the actual vise itself to help hold our project pieces. So here we are. I am putting together the interior parts for the tool well.
which is just basically a couple pieces of wood. It's going to be a drop-in MDF bottom, and then the top will slide in over the top of that, so when the tools aren't being used, we'll have a full workbench, and when we are working, we can have a place to put the tools. And there you go, it works as designed. Alright guys, we're going to wrap it up here. I'm actually going to come back and put some finish on this thing and then install the vices. Take a quick walk around. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel, give us a like, and leave a comment down below. And we'll see you in the next video.